Hello and welcome to ALTTPR daily race. Today we are going to be racing a casual boot seed. Featured, we will have Calvin 919, Torin the Dragon, Signums, and Edium. In total, we do have 19 entrants. I'm Zethno, and I will be here with Drossi, who will be joining me momentarily. So, a few things about casual boots. One, obviously, we start with the boots. It's in the name. Two, we start with a sword, which is very helpful for our runners, and we will be seeing a standard start. We'll be seeing the whole escape sequence. The nice thing is we don't really have to worry about bombs because we can use those boots to open the wall at the back. So our runners are underway. We all have a right differences. Everybody looking a little bit different. So what do we get from Uncle? Little piece of heart, a little bit of health. Not anything really important, but our runners probably aren't too worried because they started with a sword. Fire rod. That's always nice. Having a fire source early is great. Helps with a little bit of routing, and having that extra damage can be quite useful. Now we're going to have a little bit of a gap between here and our next chest. See Signums and Calvin using the fire rod there. Just getting rid of this guard a little bit faster. Well, a little bit easier. There's a pretty good spot you can get that guard, but it's a little tricky to get to if you're not used to it. A few of our runners taking a little bit of damage on the way over, but nothing dangerous. Ooh, speaking of dangerous, we found a hammer. Hammer is always really nice to see. That is super important for routing, super important for damage. Edium is our first runner making it to the ball and chain guard at the back here, picking up the big key. As all our runners are escorting Zelda out of the castle here. There really isn't too much to discuss. In a normal standard race, we'd be looking for bombs because there is a bombable wall at the end that is a very important wall to take down. However, with the boots, that's not really important. So our runners are just trying to get the fastest time in and out of here. You can see slight differences. Some of our runners slightly more efficiently using those boots to get around. Others are spending a little bit of time walking, maybe on autopilot, not remembering that they have boots. As we enter the dark part of the dungeon. even though our runners do not have lamp, they will have the lamp cone for this part of the world. This is just a little bit of a safety, so our runners don't have to do the entire intro dark.
And hey, they don't even need to worry about coming back here because they have boots, so we know we can get to the back of Escape.
Yep.
And apologies for the late entry here, but I finally got my headphones working.
Glad to have you. We've actually gotten quite a bit here. We have a hammer and a fire rod.
That's nice to find. I really can't complain about that. And hey, we got a bottle, so that gives us Sick Kid once we get to Kakariko.
Always nice to have that check be able to be done when you're in Kakariko the first time, not trying to figure out how to route it back in. Normally with Flute, but still. Or Dark World.
Hey, at this rate, we could get the magic powder in Kakariko and just route in magic bat while we're at it.
Yeah.
And Edium remembering that Bonk Rocks is a Sphere 1 check here. Looks like Torin ran right by it, though fortunately it was just a big 20.
Very easy to forget about those bonk rocks if you're not used to playing boot starts.
Yeah, Calvin ran by them as well. Obviously, would have been a problem if something had been there, but they're bailed out. And wow, full magic refills under the bush crabs. That is a nice gift.
Yeah,
Especially
definitely something to remember.
Since half magic is on Lumberjack, so unless we need Aga for our Dark World access, I don't think we're getting half magic today.
Oh no, definitely not going out of your way for that. Not worth it.
At least it's not like a make or break, especially since this is not Stand Hard. The main tournament is finally over. We are back to modes that have things like armor upgrades and silver arrows, so half magic is less critical, provided we, can find silvers and a sword upgrade and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, you were mentioning Aga probably, or us not getting half magic unless Aga's required. Wouldn't that be so mean? The game gives you a hammer in Escape and then gives you absolutely no other Dark World access except to do Aga.
Been known to happen.
Yeah.
There's our bug net, not that we really need that for Aga. Can be useful in swordless modes.
Can still be used with the sword, just not quite as efficient.
Yeah, it swings kind of slowly, but in swordless play, it can totally be part of the logic. And hey, we do have a swordless mode in this season of Ladder.
Kakariko seems to not have had too much for our runners here so far.
Got our second bottle.
Yeah,
Ooh.
That's quite a bit less important than the first one, though.
And quite a bit less important than the glove we picked up right after.
Yeah, that would be something important.
So now, unless the Moon Pearl is on or locked by Pyramid Ledge, we do not need Aga for Dark World access.
Yep, I think it would have to be on Pyramid at that point, right? Because we have Dark World access otherwise.
Well, there could be, say, and Flippers and Chicken Hut, nice. There could be, Hook Shot on Pyramid Ledge and Moon Pearl on East Death Mountain, something crazy like that.
Ah, yes. I was thinking Fetch Quest right before that, but that works as well.
That too. Shovel, Mushroom.
The powder you mentioned earlier.
That too. So we're wrapping up Kakariko here. The glove and the flippers were definitely our big finds.
Nobody
Oh,
really has.
and the bow in the back of the tavern. I didn't catch it when Torin did it, but I caught it when Calvin did it. Oh, and there's our Dark World access before we've even left CAC.
Always nice to have. That said, we have. So now here's the question: Eastern's a crystal. You have everything that you need to do it. Do you wait to see if you can get a mirror, loop it in with pod, or do you just do it?
Probably check the Dark World at least. Find out whether pod's a crystal or pendant. Looks like Torin's going straight to the eastern area, though. Like, I'm probably thinking at a minimum, might as well do Hype Cave and see the Dark World map. And I think that, nope, Calvin's going to Dam. None of these runners are doing what I do. Edium is, okay.
That said, they're all quite valid plays. There are quite a few options down there on South Shore where Calvin's going. And Torin is heading towards a crystal dungeon. I think I saw Pod is a crystal.
Yes, the 5-6 crystals were Thieves and Mire. I think Swamp was a green pendant and Skull Woods was the other pendant. And
Unfortunately, I was looking at most of the other runners and caught that at the last second. So,
well, Torin found an ether in Saha's closet. I caught that too.
much more useful in Randomizer than in Standard, unless it's required to open a dungeon. The divergence here is definitely nice to see, seeing all these different checks. This is when I seriously appreciate our trackers.
Yes, so shoutouts to Artaro and Mr. Scruff Ninja Tuna, both very seasoned trackers. We're really glad to have them on board tonight. Ooh, mushroom in mini Moldorm caves, since we were talking about fetch quests earlier.
We found our third bottle in Eastern. A lot of health refills.
Looks like Edium is doing the early catfish play. Interesting. And he has no mirror, so he can't combine it with anything else.
He could be making a bet that it's going to be pretty easy to get back to the Zora area later in Light World with those flippers that he already has.
Yeah, and even faster if you charge a water walk. He does have to watch his health. He's down at 1 heart.
Should be okay. This part, once you get past that whole area, it's not too dangerous. That said, we've definitely seen runners die there. Thorin getting the 3 Staffo skill.
So the Eastern Big Key is not vanilla, which means that Eastern is logically clearable with that Fire Rod. Though, if there's an item in the vanilla Big Key chest, it is still out of logic.
Having that Fire Rod definitely makes this room a little easier than doing it in the dark. Or a lot easier than doing this in the dark. Stumpy giving us some money.
So I'm kind of excited because we are going to see a crystal in less than 15 minutes here.
Yeah, upcoming boss fight on Torin's side.
And though out of logic without the lamp, Pod is perfectly doable. So are Skullwoods and Thieves Town, though Skullwoods is a pendant. Torn doesn't quite get the quick kill, but
That's
we
the
do.
third item.
Yeah, so no need to go back and worry about that vanilla big key chest. And now Edium's doing the Eastern play. Now, the interesting question... Oh, that's too bad. I was wondering if Torn might go down, use the portal just south of Eastern, and do pod, but... Oh, he's starting from Sank. Wonder where he's heading. Cac portal?
Must be.
Calvin looks like he's heading to Cac portal. I mean, not a bad play. As we know, Pendant Skull Woods always has something, except when it doesn't.
Very much like Pendant Pod.
Yeah, exactly.
Good quick kill there on Signum's side.
Okay, yeah, there's our Dark World confirmation that Swamp is in fact Green Pendant, just like it was in last night's main tournament final. And if you haven't seen that match, I highly suggest you check out the VOD. Torrent doing the Houlihan room.
Planning on going to... Nope, not enough cash. I was thinking planning on going to Zora, maybe... Going into the... Okay, picking up cash to get into pod?
Yeah, I realized, I was saying I wondered why Torn hadn't just used the portal and gone to pod, but yeah, he didn't have pod money. Oh, and there is a French vanilla Mitts in Thievestown, so hopefully our other runners will join Calvin in there before too long.
Yeah, that's a very, very important check. It is a crystal, so I don't really see a lot of the runners putting this off.
Yeah, and they all have the hammer, so they don't need to worry about orphaning something in the big chest.
Yep.
But this is kind of fascinating. The game's really handed us 3 crystals right off the bat. Yes, I know, except for Helma King is out of logic without the lamp.
Thankfully, the only room that's really difficult in there is the turtle room, and with a fire rod, it's not terrible.
Yeah, I mean, the dark maze can be tough if you're not used to it.
Yeah, it definitely can be. Nice, if you're not familiar with it, to have a map up somehow on another screen or on a phone or some device.
That's a good practice in general if you're still learning dark rooms.
Oh yes, some of them are more difficult than others. So some you can learn after doing them once or twice, maybe, and others will take more attempts. A comment in chat that to rando runners, a lamp is more like a guideline than a rule. As you get more and more experience, that becomes very, very, very true.
Silvers are also more like a guideline than a rule.
Yeah. I definitely took a lot less time to learn Silver List than I did to learn every single dark room, though.
Well, some of those dark rooms are really hard. Now so is Master Sword Silver List. Tempered Silver List, Butter Sword Silver Lists are pretty doable with practice and patience are the 2 key things there.
Yeah, Master Sword Silver List definitely takes a long time and takes some getting used to.
So Edium gets his crystal out of Eastern. Signums hasn't really found anything in pod except for a shield so far.
That's another item that might technically be required by logic if something's on Laser Bridge, but our runners probably don't care all that much about it.
And Edium is going for that portal.
Yep, makes a lot of sense. Has the cash to do it. That's always something that happens to a lot of runners. At some point when you're running a race, you get the pod and Tiki tells you nope.
Hey, remember you were saying that ether wasn't very useful?
Where I didn't see who used it.
Oh, Torin did the swag move of just taking out all the mini Moldorms and mini Moldorm Cave with it.
Yeah, well, with that loadout, that's definitely a good way to get that room. I mean, that's what I was saying in Randomizer. One of the great reasons to have it is exactly that. If you get a room you don't like, you can just ether. And here comes the blind fight on Calvin's side. Get his first crystal.
And it doesn't matter that we are still on Fighter Sword, doesn't matter what weapon you use against Blind, it is going to be 9 hits.
Yep, but the great thing about it is the first time you get into this room, Blind does the exact same thing. So if you know where to stand, this fight is relatively easy. If you don't know where to stand, this fight is very hard.
That said, Calvin did get a bit off script at the end and was down to his last heart.
Yep, but even if you start on script and you get the first part of the fight safe, it helps to get to the end, the hard part, with a lot of health instead of 1 heart and trying to avoid 2 heads while hitting Blind. Damage boosting to the end is a very valid strat.
So what's Torin gonna do? It looks like he's doing the other Flippers checks. He does not have Zora money.
That's always a check that feels bad when you isolate Zora. You spend the rest of the game thinking, is it there? Is it there?
But this seed really hasn't given us much money. I mean, Houlihan and Pod Rupee Basement have been our main sources of income so far.
We got a cane on Signum's side. I missed which chest it was in, but it was somewhere in the back of Pod. Also, Torin just found money. So, Zora's...
Oh, wow, that was a very fortuitous find.
Yes, someone left their hoard of cash in Waterfall Cave, and Torin stole it. Okay, we'll give it to Zora. It was probably Zora's money, so we're just bringing it back to King Zora, who misplaced it. We'll call it that.
For a negative 96% return on investment.
Well, we just gave Zora back his money, and Zora said, well, here's $20 for your trouble.
Well, but we also threw in 150 of our own.
No, that's true. Oh yeah, then we still got gypped. Maybe the Smith will give us a better prize here on Calvin's side.
Yeah, now, what's interesting, while no one's gotten both the mushroom and the cane yet, if someone were to do that, they could combine a fake powder on magic bat into the Smith sequence.
You're very correct. I'm just laughing at the fact that the Smiths also gave us $20 for helping them out.
Yeah, but that was double your money.
Yeah. Much better return.
In fact, sometimes it's easy to forget that the Smiths do charge $10.
Yeah, because you're almost always going in there with at least that amount, but that's another one. You actually find out that costs a few rupees when you get there and happen to have less. We got some dark rooms going on the right side of the screen.
Yeah, Signums should be going into the one that should be lightable with the fire rod here. Yep, he's taking it out.
Yep.
There we go. Nice and
Got
bright.
there too.
There's Edium's cane.
Ah, Eddie lets the fairy out to be able to death warp. Also takes himself out with bombs. Signum's going into the boss fight with 3 hearts. Should be pretty safe, but Helma can be a little mean sometimes. Although, if we want to talk about mean bosses, do you see where Calvin is, Tarasi?
Wow, this is a gutsy play. This is not normally how you would approach a non-green pendant Skull Woods. You'd usually do the front first, but I guess Calvin's thinking maybe the fire rod leads to something. He was too afraid of being grabbed in the hole, so he waited to make sure a Wallmaster would come down not in the hole. Ooh, Fighter Sword Moth, I think it takes like 16 hits with the Fighter Sword. He does, of course, have a hammer and a fire rod, both of which take it down a bit faster if you can aim your shots right. And he does have a fairy, I believe, so don't need to be too worried here.
Oh yeah, fairy, as you mentioned. I see a death and I always feel bad for the runner.
That's why I braced myself and the viewers for it.
That didn't help me. I still see the death screen. Gets the kill. Okay. That may not be required. As much as it's extremely useful.
Yeah, certainly useful, but yeah, as I think as you were going with it, it does give us access to the front of Swamp.
Yeah, and it kind of helps us get around the Dark World into the Light World a few times in places. It helps in places like this, where we can just get right back to the starting of the dungeon. And since Calvin actually hasn't done Pod, that will be quite helpful, as that dungeon really does appreciate having the mirror.
Yeah, and he can combine it with Eastern very easily.
Hasn't done Eastern yet either. Yeah, that'll be a very good route.
But
so the time sink to actually defeat Mothula may be worth it.
And I'm thinking more imminently we're going to see the Smith Chain and Cave 45 when he's done with the Village of Outcasts area.
Oh yeah, that'll definitely help for that. Oh, I hope... No, that looks fine. I always get worried when the statue's a little bit to the left there, because if you get it on the exact wrong spot, it gets stuck.
The only thing about that mirror is Calvin forgot to, go out that second exit before going to the back, so when he mirrored, it took him all the way back to where he had come in. No swag ether medallion usage from Edium here. Oh, and Bombos is our second item in Skull Woods, so we don't know if either of those items are required, but either of those items could very well be required.
Getting a lot of those items that we'll see if they become important, and then depending on which runner has them, we'll find out who has an advantage.
But if Calvin's going up here, maybe he's thinking Graveyard Ledge and King's Tomb. Also, he got blue mail somewhere and I missed it. Do you see where he got it?
No, but I'm going to guess it was in Skullwoods.
No, it wasn't in Skullwoods. The two items in Skullwoods were Mirror and Bombos.
Oh, Bombos, right. Hammer pegs coming in from chat.
Oh, thank you, chat.
Chat has many more eyes than the two of us do, so it's always appreciated. And even when you add in the trackers, there's still 4 of us and a lot more of you. Signum's actually doing Skullwood's Big Chest the intended way. Not something you see all that often.
Hey, if you don't feel comfortable in your bomb jumping, I can see that.
Yeah.
And that was the Ice Rod in King's Tomb. That is very much a required item, though we didn't need the mirror to get that because we have the Titansmiths, so we could have come through the light world.
The one problem with coming at that from the light world is if you've already done most of your sanctuary checks, I guess to activate the flute, they'll come back this way anyways, and almost everyone will likely pick it up on the way.
Hope the flute isn't on Trinex.
Well, that would be a problem, wouldn't it?
It would be quite something.
You're giving our runners such a great potential chain there. Very kind.
Of course, Calvin hasn't been into Pod yet to get his cane, but he will, and with the mirror and the hammer, he can get to East Death Mountain. We might well have Turtle Rock and Logic, as long as it's either Bombos or Ether to enter.
Well, yeah, nope, yep.
Hey, Edium's...
No, I was... Okay, we don't actually have logical access to Death Mountain yet.
Yeah, but the Cane of Samaria wasn't in Logic either. Oh, and the Mushroom gave us our Master Sword, so that is a nice turn-in.
Definitely. Now, the only problem is, if Powder is in an awkward place, turning in the Mushroom could have some negative consequences.
Yeah, it's just very unlikely, so it's worth that risk, I would say, to get the Master Sword. You know, given what we were saying about, like, logical access to things, I kind of wonder where that lamp is.
Yeah, we've done a lot of things without that lamp. Anybody bid into Agina?
Nope. And I think it could easily be in the front of Swamp. The only thing we've really gotten out of logic with, as a result of not having the lamp so far, has been the Cane of Samaria because no one's been up the mountain. Hey, and speaking of Agina, here's Edium checking it out.
That would be really rude to have the lamp in that first actual check of Swamp. It's not Agina.
Those were our boots, I guess, because that looked like a green 20.
Ice Palace is something that could potentially have some progression. Or have the lamp.
Right. Lamp and Ice Palace would just be rude.
I'm still saying that the lamp at the front of Swamp with not much... I guess we have hammers. We can do a lot of it. Yeah.
But... again, ignoring the lamp issue... if any of these runners can hover, we're a flute from no mode.
Yeah. I'm not sure we'll take that one as for most of these runners.
By the way, one of the many amazing things from last night's finals match, if you get a chance to check it out, the rare Godmire hover.
Actually, I missed it, but I can see chat talking about it. Apparently, Edium tried to turn in the fake powder after having turned in mushroom.
Oh.
That's...
wrong order.
Yeah, that happens. That's definitely something. You go, hey, I have a mushroom. There's a mushroom on my tracker. I can do this.
So, Edium's now going into Skullwoods, and the question is, will he go to the back and get his mirror after he finds only one item in the front?
It's a long check for one item.
And we still don't even know if it's required.
Yeah, that's very true, too.
But yes, there's still a lot of the world we haven't seen. Well, the runners are most... oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, the run. Continue.
Oh, I was just going to say the runners are mostly retracing each other's footsteps at this point.
Yeah, and as they're doing that, I'm starting to think of those logical implications of where a lot of these items have been and where we can really go. The logical progression has to be in Swamp or Ice at this point, I think.
Trying to think what else is out there. We've seen Smith's Chain. We don't have logical mountain access.
Nope.
But I mean, the logical progression could just be the lamp, and then suddenly the mountains and logic and everything.
Yep. No, it very well could be. I'm just trying to think of what else our runners could feasibly do, and I just can't think of anything else.
Right, and so at this point, like... it's a tough call what to do. I mean, you've gotten Samaria out of logic anyway, so Ice isn't that bad a play.
No, I definitely think Ice, you have Fire Rod, you have Bombos, you have Samaria. Ice is a crystal. The worst part is actually walking down there. It'll be a little faster if you can find the flute.
Well, at least we have the boots for that. And actually, if you
Signum's
jump in north of Lake Hylia Island and swim, it's not even that bad.
Oh, that's true too. Take the shortcut, having boots or boots, flippers, water boots.
Finger webs. Oh, and Edium is going for the moth, so he will become our second runner to get that mirror.
Interesting. Wonder if he's thinking about the fact that he really is running out of logical locations for progression before going up the mountain. And it could be something like the flute, because he doesn't know what it is. It could be flute, right? Flute could be in one of these really awkward places.
Edium also hasn't been to Thieves Town. He doesn't have his mitts yet.
Okay. Yeah, that doesn't help either.
But I have to imagine he's going to go there, like, imminently.
Oh, yeah, right after this. In the right part of the world. That Mothula was not being nice to him. By the way, we got some more flipper names in chat. We got Aqua Slippers and Water Toes. Nice to see everybody joining in. Hey, more darkness on Torin's side. So everyone's now just really retracing steps. It's because no one really wants to do some of these locations.
Well,
I have to guess that someone's going to ice.
good time to get a prediction in chat, at least, whether the lamp or the flute will be our next big progression. Because once the lamp shows up, someone's going up Death Mountain, and we have access to the whole thing, logically.
Okay. I'm not sure what happened on Torin's side there, because I was looking at the right side of the screen. Took a death, got revived by a fairy, and immediately saved and quit.
Yeah, that's... Why didn't he finish Pod? He did get his Cane of Samaria.
Well, I mean, that could just be being not comfortable with the basement dark room.
He was comfortable with the dark maze, and he has the fire rod.
But if you don't know where to shoot that fire rod, that could make things very difficult.
I mean, it's possible. It just would seem odd that someone's comfortable doing the dark maze but doesn't know where to shoot the fire rod in the basement.
I definitely personally knew that maze first, just because it's easier to know where you are because you can guide yourself with the rails. Whereas in Turtle Room, you have to get it pretty fast, and you don't really have too much guidance except the wall. But we'll see.
So, while we were talking, Torin got his Master Sword and Edium got his Ice Rod.
Hey, Ice Palace.
The Ice Rod should point to Ice Palace? Oh, yes, Signums is now in Ice Palace.
Signums is in Ice Palace, yeah. We got someone in here. And this makes a lot of sense. Again, it's a crystal dungeon, can be completed.
Other than... he's doing this on Fighter Sword and has no hook shot. I mean, a lot of these enemies are vulnerable to hook shot, which makes it bearable if you have a very weak sword, but...
Two bomb strat? Two bomb strat? Nope. Gonna do the one bomb strat. That still will take out all but two. There is a quick kill with the two bombs that will actually take them all out at once. And it's a great one to learn to avoid this. This right here.
Well, he got in some good spins, and it was all for a map.
It was well done, for sure. It's just annoying as a runner when you have to do that room with anything less than tempered.
And hey, Calvin's now going to become our final runner to get the...
We do have some people
cane.
Sorry?
Now this is interesting. Does Signums not know Icebreaker?
Icebreaker? Yeah, that's definitely your choice.
Because especially when you're doing a full clear, Icebreaker saves so much time and you have to worry so much less about keys and everything.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of a reason why I might do bomb jump over Icebreaker.
Nice bomb jump, at least.
Yeah, very well done.
Hey, and Torin is in the back of Thievestown now. Not Thievestown, Skull Woods now, as he tries to death warp back to the beginning. But let's hope he goes for Moth and gets that mirror.
Yeah.
Okay, good. He's making his way to the back.
Yeah, that's important. Dignum's continuing on, not finding progression here. Logical progression in Pendant Swamp? At that point, I gotta be thinking, do you just break logic, go up the mountain, and if you don't find anything, then you know Flutes and Swamp?
I mean, in terms of logic, like, Signums has to go to Ice Tea Room now. That's the only other check left in logic in Ice Palace.
Yeah. Oh, this room's fun. We don't see this room very often anymore.
Yeah, well, you have to, like, not Icebreaker and now be setting up the bomb jump. It's not a horrible bomb jump, it's just not one you see very often, so it's easy to be out of practice.
Yeah, there are also a few different setups for this. Some of them are easier than others.
That was very clean, though.
Yes, it was.
So there's Torin's Mirror and Pendant. That's our second junk item in Ice, though. We are running out of chances for progression in Ice.
Yeah.
And that's the third one. We can go straight to Cold Stare if Signums feels comfortable fighting Cold Stare basically with Hammer and Fire Rod strats.
Shouldn't be too...
Yeah, what's really crazy is, like, all the key. So the big key must be in Ice Tea, which means that the big chest and Cold Stare are both small keys, because we haven't seen any keys yet.
Yeah, Samaria Lock Dungeon.
Yeah. Not that that really means anything for us, because we've already gotten all the items out of it.
Oh, well, hold on. Yes, it does. Samaria's out of logic, and it's locked by the lamp.
Yes, my point is we've gotten all the items out of Ice Palace anyway, and the only thing Ice Palace is gating is GT.
Yeah, no, I'm just... it's interesting that this is technically also out of logic. So, again, we're looking for that lamp.
So I guess Flute or Lamp has to be in Swamp, and At this point, do you assume it's lamp and swamp and just kind of go to the mountain out of logic?
I think so. I was kind of feeling like that before. The fact that I now know that Ice Palace is also locked by the lamp just makes it all the more likely to me that lamp is there. And in the event that it's not, you clear all of Dark Death Mountain, you might find the flute, or you might find the lamp. And if you don't find the flute, you know it's somewhere in swamp.
Well, and necessarily the flute and the lamp can't both be on Death Mountain.
Yep.
But that is Signum's 4th crystal.
Yeah.
He is, however, the only one of our runners who does not have the mirror, so that could affect his Death Mountain routing if he decides to go up there.
Yep. That could also be bad if our flute is in one of those mirror-locked locations. Actually, is there? Yeah, I guess there's one in Turtle Rock that's still left. I think it's the only mirror-locked location that we can get to that'll matter at this point, right? Mimic Cave?
Yeah, I think we've checked the others. Well, not Bombo's tablet, but we don't have the mirror.
Yeah, the book will show up eventually. Calvin getting the sword. Arterell, our tracker's making a good point. Theoretically, checkerboard could be if we find out that Quake is required. That is very true.
That's true, but we need to get flute first.
Yeah, but the point is that technically right now we're kind of in the mindset of looking for a flute for go mode, I think was the idea. And
yeah.
Quake could be a little dark horse here when we get up the mountain, because no one's gone up the mountain yet. Can you imagine you do all of this, you get up the mountain and find Quake on Turtle Rock?
And I believe Cold Stare was not logically hookshot locked, so hookshot could be in hookshot could be in GT.
I'm trying to remember the logic for that particular scenario.
I think the right side was logically hookshot locked, but the right side had junk, so it didn't matter.
Well, if the right side is hookshot locked, then the dungeon should be hookshot locked. Shouldn't it?
No, because Cold Stare is assuming you have the cane, so you only need one key, logically.
Oh, I guess, yeah, because you can go get... Well, yes, but it's the logic, assuming you've used it the worst possible way, couldn't you use the small key to get to right side and then be locked out? Oh, wait.
No, because if you did that, you'd be able to get the key from under the rock on right side.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Ice Palace logic is fun.
I think Coin made a whole chart of all the different key layouts and the implications for what is locked by what in Ice Palace. And yeah, as long as the big key is accessible, the big key and at least one small key are accessible, then Cold Stare is logically accessible with the cane. And while we've been going on about that, Torin is in Swamp, so we get to see what our Swamp progression is. And Calvin's joining him.
Yes, sorry. I was just gonna say this will settle that prediction started earlier. Finally.
Oh, good call. French vanilla hook shot. So now we can do the whole thing. Our real progression might be back of swamp.
Oh boy. Argus with a lamp? That would be such a long walk for a lamp. I don't think I guess it's a required required item. Our runners are probably happy to have it, but they're probably not happy that they found it right here. Oh, yeah, it's green pen. Saha could be sitting with a lamp.
Also true.
That's chat. Help me out with that one. Yeah, that's that would be mean. See, that's the point where you just, as was mentioned earlier, where some players just consider the lamp a optional item. You just say, forget this, and I'm going to go up the mountain without it.
Well, we get a big key, so we can check the big chest immediately. That's probably the best place for the big key to be.
Yep.
And
yeah, we're going to see Diver down.
Yeah, that map means there is at least one item on the left side, so Torin is just gonna get it out of the way now.
Yeah, this makes a lot of sense, especially having found the big key, knowing that if you clear left side, you can just leave. Oh. Gonna see the Samaria Diver down. Well done.
And Edium is on cold stare. Very nice hammer cold stare fight.
Calvin a little low on health.
Yeah, that's what potions are for.
Yep. Calvin going around the slower way. Not using the bomb trick.
I'm having a hard time deciding who's ahead. Well, there's our red meringue. I mean, that wins the seed right there, right?
I think we can say who's ahead when we find the flute, and then it'll get totally thrown out the window when Turtle Rock ends up being Quake.
Right, but like, two of the runners have done ice, but it's possible that our runners on the left could get to go mode ice, which would save them a huge amount of time.
Yeah? Well, we're heading to the back of Swamp. It's good we found the hook shot.
And Edium is going to be our third runner in there, as Signums becomes our final runner to go to the back of Skull Woods.
A lot of pendants being done today.
Well, a lot of sort of progress. Oh, and there's the lamp. Okay.
It's lamp! Rage slashes! Torrent knows exactly what that means, and he's not happy about it.
And some people just won a lot of points.
It was the lamp. That's, well, I did say the fact that ice was lamp lock made me think that lamp was going to come up. Oh wow, I didn't realize the point difference was so high. Yeah, that's a lot of points.
When one person bets $250,000 on the losing side, those points get transferred.
Oh yeah, everyone got a 10 times return if they voted lamp. That's pretty good. Okay. So
I I guess at this point you finish off Argus in case Flute's on Ped.
Yep, because that's possible. And you definitely don't want to come back. If you're that close to Argus, it's also Green Pendant. Green Pendant could be something. Just finish the dungeon. Sump is already not a particularly great dungeon to get back to in the first place. Forget getting all the way back to the boss.
And those are some nice Ice Rod strats on the bulb from Tauren.
As Tauren's boss finishes exploding, Signum's boss starts. As Signum's boss finishes exploding, Calvin's is about to start.
And we're still kind of low in the sword department. I mean, it would be a very unfortunate irony if for all this, we wind up being Master Sword Silverless, but yeah, apparently there was Quake in the waterfall chest. We missed that, so all of our runners who have hit Swamp have it now, everyone except for Signums, so we won't need to look for medallions.
Yeah.
Wait, chat's saying Tauren doesn't have Quake. Did he skip Waterfall Chest? Wow, that's...
Yeah.
Wow.
I can confirm from that menu, there is definitely no Quake.
That has to be an oversight, but good call, chat.
I saw Tauren pass it. I didn't comment because I assumed that he had counted the items.
No, because we already had the big key and the map, so there was only the compass left, and it's an odd 50-50 to take when you're walking right by it.
Yeah. So I had forgotten that. But I noticed him run past it. Yeah, that could be really bad.
And we know that the mirror is logically required. If you can do dark rooms and hover, so far we don't have... unless the Quake is necessary, the mirror isn't hard required, but we shall see.
Oh yeah, with a hook shot in there, that definitely makes a big difference.
And Calvin's our first runner going up the mountain.
At an hour in.
Yeah. How often do you not see Death Mountain until an hour into the seed?
Definitely one of the latest Death Mountain ascents I've seen. And on foot. No duck helping us out. Oh, green pendant. Shield. Saha giving
we can reflect fireballs.
That turn-in wasn't worth it. It was definitely a good decision to get it out of the way, see if it was anything. Finding Flute right there and being able to go mode all of Dark Death Mountain would be pretty huge. Can you imagine if this comes down to a blind pet bull?
It's possible. I think Flute on Death Mountain is more likely.
Definitely more likely. There's a lot of chests up on Death Mountain.
And that's where all the money was hiding, too. At least the one that the stuff Zora didn't put in the waterfall.
So we got the money back from the 150 we initially loaned to Zora.
Tauren having a much easier time of Ice Palace with that hook shot.
Yeah, hookshot makes a lot of things easier. good movement tech too, just in
Did
general.
he not go to Freezer Room, or has he not been counting items?
Not sure. Okay.
So, Torin's half bailed out for skipping Quake, since we now know that TR is Bombos.
Yep. Still
And
one more dungeon to go in Mire.
Calvin's going right in without even seeing if there are any goodies in Cookshot Cave or Super Bunny Cave.
That's an interesting choice. That said, go moding this dungeon isn't too much faster.
If there's a tempered sword in one of those locations, though, that sure makes TR a bit faster.
Yeah. Definitely, I was just thinking, but the swords could be nice.
And, you know, if the flute is in one of those places, it does save you Mimic Cave.
That's true, too. The rest of the locations you'll probably check just even looking for a sword, because most of them really, ouch, aren't that far out of the way.
Calvin should still have time to get through the door. Yeah, he's fine.
I think Calvin was looking for some invulnerability items there and doesn't have any.
Yeah.
Actually, on that note, Laser Bridge, although our runners will likely do it, is out of logic at the moment.
I don't think Advanced Logic requires a mirror shield or invincibility item for Laser Bridge anymore.
Oh, is that... Oh.
I think basic
I
item placement does, but I don't think advanced item placement requires it.
I will definitely have to double check that after, because I think my understanding of that could have been wrong then. Advanced doesn't care. Okay, so it is. We got another confirmation. Huh.
And we are playing with advanced item placement.
Of course. Huh. I must have missed that.
It also doesn't logically require hook shot for bumper ledge.
Yeah. I think that ooh, this is getting close. Okay, blue potion on Calvin's side.
And we've got red mail. I mean, do you really worry about anything when you have red mail?
One heart and in Chain Chomp Room, yes, I worry.
That was a lot of effort for a compass.
Yeah, that was.
Okay, so Edium's opening TR. Let's see if he goes to Hookshot Cave and Super Bunny Cave first. And if so, if he turns up anything.
Yeah, he did them already.
Oh, okay.
We were watching Calvin in
Oh.
Chain Chomp Room.
Okay, well, I guess it was all trash, so it didn't really matter that Calvin skipped. And Torin is finally back to finish off Pod. Much easier time now that he has the lamp.
Yep. Much better way to finish this dungeon. Getting the lamp is really going to help the runners from Mire too, because that dark room, the first dark room with the switch in Mire, is definitely one of the harder dark rooms in the game.
Okay, so outside we go for Mimic Cave. Let's see Whether Calvin does the big chest first. Now he's got the mirror out. There's a very contentious ongoing debate about when you're one item from Go mode, do you do the big chest first or Mimic Cave first?
Yep. We'll see. If it's neither, it doesn't matter. Signums does defeat
well, there's Go mode. 109.45. Mimic Cave was the play. Good thing all of our runners got that mirror, which we now know is absolutely positively hard required.
Yeah, remember that moment when I was saying there's only one check left in the game that is mirror locked that could have the flute?
We also know this is not Oops All Dungeons because there is no progression in Hera, though it would be funny if it has a sword or silvers.
What about the sword and silvers? There's 2 items in there. Oh boy. Okay.
What? Oh, why is Calvin just kind of charging in?
Got a little excited.
Yeah,
I can't say I've done that myself in that room. That's
helps to put down a Samaria block first, just saying.
It really does. After learning that the hard way, I can definitely say that it is much easier when there's a block there.
So now the big question is, what is the medallion for Meyer? Because as long as it's not Quake, Torn's fine. If it is Quake, Torn could be a while.
If it is Quake, Torn's gonna last locate that. Calvin is taking the safety door for Laser Bridge. I do not blame him.
And having full cleared, we of course need to get the key off Laser Bridge.
Calvin taking a death. That is exactly why he opened that door, though. Will respawn in that room.
Also worth noting, Calvin is a crystal behind our other runners, but he does get to Go mode Ice Palace once he gets there.
Well, if he does know the Ice Palace bomb, or Icebreaker, then he'll have a pretty easy route through.
Yeah, and honestly, Go mode Ice Palace, Icebreaker only saves you about 15 seconds.
You don't have to worry about failing the bomb jump, though.
That's true. I mean, you could take a while on Icebreaker, though. It's not something that everyone always gets their first try.
Very true.
I've certainly taken a while on Icebreaker.
The thing I like about Icebreaker is that you can reset pretty easily because you can just keep using the same block. Bombs don't stick around very well. Hammer, try next. This fight
Okay,
sucks.
and Calvin does... Whoa, did he not get... Okay. Ooh!
Barry? Nope.
Looked like he had
Hey!
enough hits. I was a bit surprised that he didn't... That he hadn't gotten that head down. I thought he had enough hits.
Orin is paraputting.
That he is. I guess we'll find out if there's anything in Pendant Hera that might give him a leg up. We know nothing required, but we are looking at a Master Sword Silverless Ganon at the moment, and I'm sure all of these runners would love to not be on Master Sword Silverless.
Yeah. That extra sword or silvers will save a significant amount of time at the end of the game.
It's also possible, we find it en route in desert or in mire while we're looking for the big keys for them.
Yep. Well, with 2 runners on Trinex, watching the head.
Kind of mesmerizing, isn't it?
It definitely can be. What I wanted to see is we'll find out what Mire entrance is soon. But Edim has done phase 1. Calvin finishing up the second head. Running out of magic. Unfortunately, Calvin's gonna have to take a death here.
Yeah, so that puts Edium pretty clearly in the lead now. Oh, there's our tempered.
I'm sorry to our runners for laughing at that, but that's a location.
That is a location, indeed.
That's so mean. That's the one boss where you really wanted to have that sword.
And at this rate, the other sword's probably in GT. But hey, at least we're not doing Master Sword Silverless. There is no way those runners are missing that sword.
We're even going to see Coffee Break Room without a coffee break.
Yeah, I'm surprised Torin, so eagerly went in here when there is a crystal dungeon he could be clearing. I mean, it could be like the trying to galaxy brain it. Because, hey, if this is the flute, then suddenly you've got a leg up on everyone else. We just know it's not.
That could be. If he's feeling behind, this could definitely be that play to say, hey, I'm behind. If I find an item here, I'm going to save a lot of time on my opponents.
Well,
I mean,
help him on Laser Bridge.
Yeah. It's nice. Not hugely helpful, but it's nice.
He's going to Spike Cave? This is just...
Calvin? Yes! There we go. Gets the last head.
And he's not going to be happy when he gets those silvers. Oh yeah, I guess Torin feels like, well, I did all this work for Burna, it must be pointing me to Spike Cave.
That's an interesting choice.
And
oh, no!
Did he just die to the third head? No.
Yeah, he got caught on the ice and couldn't get out of the way.
Meanwhile, Mire is its vanilla ether. Edium is giving us a burb toss, and that means Torin will be in go mode when he gets that flute.
Good to know. When Calvin finds that sword on Trinex, he's going to be so unhappy. Some slashes here from Calvin heading off to the boss. Good luck.
How is Edium so many heart containers ahead of everyone else?
That is a good question. Okay, one head down for Calvin.
Let's send
in.
Calvin some good vibes here.
Yeah. Signum's just had a really clean chain jump room, so maybe we'll get a really nice clean finish here from Calvin. It's an omen.
No, I mean, he's not getting out of the way of the head. The ice doesn't help matters, but you need to know that that's where the head's gonna shoot out.
Yeah, the ice is rough. I know that's a big thing with this boss. Once the ice is down, you do have to really make sure you stay off it. And it's hard because you're trying to hit the head, and the head is hovering above the ice. So you get on the ice to hit the head, and then you take a hit. Oh, we do have a question in chat about why doesn't he start with the ice head? Now, I know almost everybody starts with fire. Do you know the
Because
reason?
fire comes out first. It's as simple as that.
Okay.
You can only damage a head once it comes out because they both start back there, and fire is always the first one to come out. So otherwise, you're waiting for fire to shoot, and then just kind of standing there until ice comes out. Oops,
that makes
get
sense.
that. And the problem is he's okay, so the problem is you're going at it from the side. Okay, at least she's getting out of the way.
Gotta dodge it down. Yep, good. Watch the ice. Good. Okay, we're on phase 2.
8 hearts left.
Now, this is the moment. Just stay on the left side. I've gotta stay off that ice, or it's very easy to take a death here.
And also get on the hammer. I mean, that's gonna speed things up considerably if you can hammer the middle rather than slash it. I think it's what,
Yes,
9 slashes to the middle and 5 hammers.
There's the hammer.
There we go.
But you know what? If he's more comfortable with the sword at this point, playing it safe and using the sword may be a good way not to take a death. Edium is on a boss fight.
And
Meanwhile,
Signums is in go mode.
big updates all around. And Torn is about to be heading to the place he needs to go. I was going to say that's 7 crystals for Edium, but it's not. That's 6. We still have to go back and do Desert. Or did he do Desert while we were...
No, he went to Meyer first.
I thought he did, and that makes a lot of sense because you want to check the medallion. You want to find out if you can get in, because then you really don't have to care after that.
He has all 3 medallions.
Oh. Well, then...
Old habits die hard, right?
Preference. If you're going to come at it from the Dark World anyway, because first of all, they don't have book, and secondly, it's faster even if you do, then you can just walk over in the Dark World and do Meyer. Instead of mirroring an extra time. Or transitioning to the Dark World. Valkyrian Torch. Boots required.
At least logically. Maybe the big key's right here. Yeah, so boots only soft required. But hey, good thing we started with them.
Yeah, that was that was my point. There was no boots hunt today.
Did we even check Desert Ledge?
I haven't seen it.
I don't know. I'm just wondering, where those silvers might be. I guess we'll find out from Ganon.
Here's a good one. Moon Pearl was on library, so boots were required a long time ago.
Also true.
That was an hour and 10 minutes ago. But yes, thank you for the reminder. Here comes the final boss fight before GT for Edium. And Signum's about to head to Trinix.
So we'll start our Ganon Tower Big Key prediction here, if you want to wager more points.
Oh, in a room with 4, or in a room with less than 4?
Yeah, I like that one because it makes you think a little bit.
You have to start thinking about which room is my number in. I've always said 8 every time we do talk about which number chest it'll be in. What about you?
10 is my go-to, though I prefer to associate it with the first check in rando room. Which it isn't always. If you do compass room early, then 10 becomes map chest.
Yeah, there's always the changes based on
Wait, no, 10
which route.
10 can become Stalfos room if you go right and get a small key in Hope room. If you do so-called Dark
Yep.
Magician strats, 10 is in Compass room.
Yes, very true. The routing can make a huge difference. But yeah, spend those points, get your prediction in, and well, if I know what happens, let it. If you have a particular chest or a particular number you're thinking of, you can always let us know in chat as well.
Oh, chat commenting that Signums actually waited and did the ice head first.
Well, I mean, that that was brought up earlier. If you're on Master Sword or you're on Fighter and you're doing hammer strats, sometimes it's easier not to have the ice in the way.
And we got over 500,000 points wagered here on the big key.
That is quite a bit. So here we go. We're going right side first. Nope.
You'd hardly even know Edium's teammates with Dante.
Money, money. Yep. Okay.
Well, this is apparently key room today.
Okay, I took a break from watching Edium there. Torin heads back out into Mimic Cave. That could have been super bad.
If he had forgotten it.
Yeah. Yeah, that location would have been extremely bad.
And Signum stocking up on some potions before his Mire play. I don't really blame him.
Yep, and that'll be the final play going into GT as well, so if they're not used there, it'll be a safety in GT, which is always nice.
So we are coming on to check number 9 here.
Well, my 8's dead. Ooh, Calvin on 1 health. 1 heart.
Ooh, I hope he has some sort of safety. And hey, there's our book too. So that was 11, and it was in a room with 4 chests.
That's, congratulations to everybody who got points from that. And Kevin does get the kill on 1 heart. Great. I kind of think that he probably has some potions now, but I would think so because he has no rupees left, but he would have used one if he had one, I think. So yeah, we did have a guess of 11 in chat specifically, so Uniform Pleb, congratulations. Oh, it's 800? Oh, it's 827 rupees. That, on my screen here, that is much harder to see. Sorry about that.
You know, you'd convinced me that that was 0 too.
Yeah, from, you know what, I'm taking a closer look on the live. I can see it, but wow, that can be really hard to read on my screen here. Eddie, I'm doing a very quick climb here. Signum's going into Mire. And here comes another Trinex fight. Our final Trinex fight of the dream. The race. The head. Oh. Torn picked up mirror shield somewhere.
Yeah, floating island.
Ah.
No one else bothered, but I guess he decided he wanted to be safe on Laser Bridge.
I think he's about to run out of magic.
Yep, got a mirror. And Eddie, I'm not finding anything in this penultimate chest.
So, Ganon will tell us where those silvers were hiding.
Hey, they could always be in this chest after Moldorm. I've seen them there before.
Yep. And that is a very good reason to check this chest. If you're looking for a sword or for silvers. Or for half magic, but we know where that is.
I just noticed that Eddie bought bomb and arrow upgrades at some point. I'm looking at his totals. Probably right before he went into ice.
Could be. Might have been looking for a bomb refill there. Before going into Ice Palace.
So Torin's also doing this Ice Head first strat.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of our runners, and that makes a lot of sense in the end. With when you know you're going to take a few cycles, and you know that the Ice Head will put down ice if you leave it.
Yeah, it's really just, you know, how fast you are at Trinex. If you know you're fast at Trinex, it makes sense to do the Firehead first because that's the quickest kill you can get.
Yep.
And Torin's down to 1 heart. I really hope he doesn't get
Agatu is
knocked
down
out.
for Edium. But I was still watching Torin. That is unfortunate. Our runners are having issues with... Oh, no.
Oh, he just ditched the mountain altogether and is gonna get potions, I guess? Well,
Yeah,
activate
but...
the flute first. Oh, and I forgot Calvin still has his Go Mode Ice Palace.
I forgot the flute wasn't activated. That's why the save and quit. This makes a lot more sense. The flute was in Turtle Rock. Well, adjacent to Turtle Rock. About as close to in as you can be.
And Ganon is nicely positioned for Phase 2 there. Edium just had to get in 3 double spins with the Tempered Sword. We're about to find out where those pesky silvers were. Probably in his tower on the right side or something.
Yeah. I definitely want to know what he says. Where is this location? In the light world. Hold on. No one did magic bat. No one fake powdered.
Oh, that's true. Well, we never found where the powder was. Yeah, so either magic bat or ped. I think we saw everything else in the light world.
We'll find out in the credits. Keep an eye on the credits.
Oh yeah, Chad also pointing out tablets since we only got the book in GT, but both tablets are light world.
Yes. That's possible. Okay, well, we'll find out if it's on PED in the credits.
On tablets meant there was absolutely no way you were getting it with the book in GT. And Idiom takes the fall!
Oh no. Oh no.
It's worth noting that no one's finished yet, so Idiom still does have a shot at first. And we
I went and checked that. I went and checked that when he fell too. He technically first place is still open. That is unfortunate. He must be worried. Like in this moment as a runner, you're worried when you haven't seen anyone finish in a big race like this. You just fell. You know someone could be right on your heels. But Edim has played extremely well today, I have to say.
Yeah, you can tell that he's really a seasoned runner, given that he just marched in and took down Trinex, and that was that.
Yep. Really, everything has looked clean, showing off all the different ways of hitting Ganon. Dash strats, spins, swings. Oop. Okay. That was a little worrying.
You're through phase 2, so we might be beeping for the rest of the fight, but he hopefully won't take a hit.
Yeah, phase 2 is definitely the place where you're most likely to take a death. Phase 4, you can get one if you don't get out of the way of the bat fast enough for Silverless.
And Signum's opens up GT. Calvin's probably only about a minute behind him. Torn getting his 5th crystal off of Lanmos there.
Unfortunately, Torrance was probably also hoping on finding a sword on the way to refight Trinex, and unfortunately, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, and unfortunately, also, without the book, portal saving was off the table.
Yeah, I was thinking about portal saving too, but the flute also wasn't active.
Oh, that's actually easy. You can just fall off the ledge and take a death to a Tektite. A lot of people don't think about that when it comes to portal saving, but that's what you do if you want to save your portal at Turtle Rock and don't have an active flute.
Well, I definitely forgot about that right in this moment. So yeah, it's easy, and if you're in game, it's hard to remember that too. But Edium does defeat Ganon. Ganon is exploding. Get your GGs in, chat, as Edium just has to cross this very, very dangerous final bridge. And does finish first on Restream and first overall with a time of 1:38.03, even with the fall. GG, Edium.
Ooh, Signums, I guess, did Dark Magician, which, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it except that he had trouble pushing that block, and so the fires went out, and now he doesn't have enough magic. Maybe this will send him to the left side.
There's a full magic under that pot.
Oh yeah, he hasn't gotten the full magic under the pot, but he's taking too long. He's going to run out of time again.
Yeah, that was the wrong order. Needed to pick it up before going for that.
Yeah.
Also, at this point, just eliminate... Normally you don't want to kill additional enemies, but just get rid of that Gibdoa. You're coming back up. Oh no! We missed... I missed it!
Oh, yeah. Well, we have Edium in here. Maybe he watched his own credits and can tell us what his own credits were and whether that's where the silvers were.
GG, Eddie. Welcome.
Oh, there we go. I was muted for a sec. Pedestal was the cape.
Oh, okay. So, silvers were either magic bat or a tablet then.
Okay. Oh, I didn't read the game hint. I just saw it in the credits.
Oh yeah, no. The Ganon hint was that it was in Light World, so we knew it was either on Magic Bat, on the tablets, or on Ped. Nobody did fake powder, although I think you tried.
Yeah, I totally forgot that I hadn't save skimmed the mushroom. So I was like, wait, what the hell am I doing?
I mean, Master Sword is kind of important. You don't want to save scum the mushroom.
Yeah, it definitely does happen though. That's overall though. You played extremely well tonight. Any thoughts on the seed?
Yeah, I mean, I think my routing worked out fairly well. The decision, obviously, to do Skullwoods before Thieves Town paid off a lot, because otherwise you get the mitts, and you might have to go do a bunch of other stuff first. Like, and so on. I don't know. But, I don't know, it was a fun seed. Just give you lots of options early. Those are kind of seeds I like. They're the most interesting. A lot of options. Very open. Yeah.
Yeah, with the early Dark World access, we saw a lot of divergence pretty quickly.
I definitely think those are the most fun to watch and play.
Yeah, the one thing that a lot of our runners did struggle with tonight is that Master Sword Trinix.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, with that half magic locked away and Lumberjack. Yeah, it's kind of rough.
And the sword being on Trinix. How did you feel when that dropped?
I thought it was pretty sweet. I was like, oh, yeah. Makes Ganon much easier.
Not to mention Vitreous, since the silvers weren't forthcoming.
Yeah.
Speaking of Vitreous, Torn's on him now as our top runners are both climbing the tower.
Signum's using the slashing strat to get the mimics up.
So yeah, what else? What I guess. So all of you did Swamp Palace before going up the mountain. Was that just because of mountain access logic, or?
Yeah.
What?
Well, for me, I mean, there's definitely a good chance that it's just the lamp in Swamp to get you up to the mountain. But there's also a very good chance it's the flute. So that's mainly why I went to the Swamp, because I thought maybe I'll find the flute here. Hookshot was even better, as it turns out.
Yeah, at least it was nice and early.
And another thought I had, I was approaching go mode with no hookshot, and with Swamp a pendant. I mean, the hookshot, could be almost anywhere. So I just wanted to make sure it wasn't there before I ever went up to GT. And I guess the other factor is, I was really trying to push that mirror, because I got it probably, I don't know, but I feel like I got it relatively early, so I wanted to push the mirror checks.
Where the heck is Torin going? Oh, he's pulling Ped.
Oh,
He's going to blind pull Ped. I guess he figured he's in the neighborhood. He's gotten all 3 pendants.
That will be a bit of a disappointing drop. Okay.
Might be useful for him on the Ganon fight.
Could be. Trying to remember when Edium got that mirror in comparison to everyone else. I know someone else did it. Someone did it super early.
I think Calvin got the mirror super early. He just went immediately for CAC Portal as his first Dark World check.
Yeah, and went straight to Mothula, like before anything else.
Yeah, Eddie, you went and got catfish out of the way pretty early. I'm not sure any of our other runners even checked catfish at all.
Yeah, I don't know. I went to Hype Cave and I was like, I could go do pod, but like no lamp and my equipment was so bad. And then the other way I could have gone was over to Dig Game, but I don't know. I just decided to get catfish and pyramid ledge out of the way. Sometimes like I just like doing that because it just makes your life easier later on when you don't have to worry about how to route them in.
Yeah, I mean, and hey, with the boots, it's faster than, like, walking up there, right? Oh, Calvin did not take the magic refill in pre-Moldorm room. That's not too often I see that. I guess he figures he has enough blue potions, but still, most people take it to be safe.
Well, I definitely know that. Yeah, I've seen a few runners skip it recently, but sorry, I see a lot of newer runners skip it because they don't know it's there. That's what I was trying to say.
Oh,
Until they learn. I don't know Calvin at all, so I don't know his familiarity with hot items.
yeah, that's kind of an important one to learn.
Yeah,
Because
I'm sorry. I'm gonna hop out. Thanks for the commentary and the tracking, everyone.
yeah, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, and give my GGs to all the other runners.
Yeah, and GG's again to you. Down goes Agatu for Calvin, as Signums is probably about halfway through.
Going to be a close finish between our top runners, potentially, depending on how Ganon goes.
Yeah, really depends on how well each of them can do Silverless.
Yeah, Silverless is going to be the big decider here. Meanwhile, I was going to say Torin on his way back to Trinix.
Yeah. He has 15 hearts, red mail. Really, it's just the magic situation, but he's got some blue potions for that.
Yeah, with this loadout, this fight should be okay. Here it is, phase 2 for Calvin. Phase 2 for Signums.
And phase 3 for Calvin.
Phase 3 for Signums. Yeah, it's definitely going to just come down to Silverless. Do you do doubles? Do you do triples? Can you get the triples? I'm just assuming they're both getting Torch Glitch, but that could be a huge decider too.
Yeah. I mean, I think they both have enough potions if they don't get Torch Glitch, but it definitely lengthens the fight.
Yeah, well, when you're this close, those few seconds will make the difference. Good Torch Glitch. Mentioned earlier, if you don't get out of the way fast enough, you can take a Fire Rat to the face in phase 4. Yep, Signum's going for the triples.
Okay, Torin uses a blue potion there. Keep safe.
Signum's has missed quite a few spins here, unfortunately. And we got Trinix exploding into phase 2.
And still possible for both of these guys to place quite well. We have Vortex of Doom in second at 140.27, Koi in third, 141.43, Scoopula in fourth at 147.44. So either of these guys could still stand to get fifth, which is still an accomplishment out of 19 runners.
For sure. Meanwhile, Torn does get Trinix. Oh, there goes Ganon for Calvin. Signum's missed, unfortunately, a few hits early on, which I think is causing a little bit of a slowdown here.
Yeah, he's got to be getting close, but Calvin finishes second on the restream, fifth overall at 150.08.
Get those GGs in chat, and wow, Signum's only needed one more hit. So, you know what? The triples, even with a few misses early on, Signum's did catch up a little bit to Calvin, and then just ran into a little bit of a magic issue on the last hit.
And he will finish and cross and finish third on our restream, sixth overall, 150.31. So let's see if we can get both of them in here as Torn enters GT.
GG Calvin. Oh, welcome to the booth.
Thank you, GG's.
So, you made that nice early Skull Woods play. What were you thinking there? Certainly paid out.
You know, I feel like the seed was so open early on because we got Dark World access as soon as CAC was over. You could have gone. I feel like we could have gone anywhere and gotten it, like anything to like progress things. So, you just basically like took your pick of the litter, I guess you could say. But seeing the mirror there was kind of nice. Kind of made my routing a little bit easier, you know, especially when it came to pod and Eastern and all that stuff.
Yeah, I have to say, I was wondering, like, who goes to the back of Pendant Skull Woods that isn't even a green pendant, and then it just paid off in spades.
It's more muscle memory. That's how I like to clear it, I guess.
Well, it worked,
Well,
and
it
we are
worked
also joined by Signums. GG.
Yep, GG's.
GG's right behind me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was a little bit sloppy on my Ganon.
I don't even want to talk about my Trinex fight.
yeah. You were not the only person to have problems with Trinix. I can say that right now. That was a rough fight. How did everyone feel when that sword dropped?
I was angry.
I was happy. Meant I didn't have to keep looking for anything. I really don't want to do Master Sword Silverless.
You probably didn't want to do
daily
Master
race
Sword
anyway.
Trinex either.
That's not so bad. You get used to doing it with the hammer.
I have a lot of trouble with Master Sword Trinex. When I was restreamed about like maybe a year or so ago, I died to it 27 times in the same situation. So I'm like, oh no, here we go again. It was terrible. I'm like, we're reliving it again.
Yeah, play some Swordless a few times. You get used to taking it on with a hammer.
That must be even more rough, to be honest. So.
How did you both feel about that hookshot location?
I mean, it kind of made sense. There had to be something with progression down there. It just about had to be. The only other thing the mirror was locking was the graveyard ledge.
It was nice, I guess. It meant that was the second. I played a ladder seed earlier today, and that was the second time hookshot was in swamp for me.
So for other locations, though, you see half magic right off the bat. Are you hoping that it winds up being an Agaseed at that point, just so you have an excuse to get it?
What was it on Lumberjack?
Oh, you never checked Lumberjack? Yeah, it was.
I never did.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, I wouldn't have complained, but we got everything for Dark World access, almost immediately. So
Did anybody find any safety items like powder, cane of burna, cape?
I never did.
Cape was on Pet.
Nice.
Cane of Burna was in Hera basement.
See, that was another thing that was tough for me because I don't have any. I'm used to having safety items, and this seed, tested that out for sure.
Yeah, it definitely made things rough, and that was one of the things I would say that made the Master Sword Trinex a bit more difficult. Not so much the cane and cape, but not having the half magic, so you don't have as much room for error before you run out of magic.
Right.
Yeah, I had a green pot, so I wasn't too worried.
Yes, that would help. Did you also notice the shortage of rupees early in the game? Because, I forget who. There was one runner where I was wondering after they finished Eastern, why didn't they go, to the portal below and do pod? And then I realized they didn't have enough money for pod.
Yeah, I think that was Torin who then did the Houlihan to get money to go to pod.
No, I did a poll and got enough money, so I was okay.
Oh, it was one of the Tears of Tree pulls? Nice.
Yeah, it was the tier 1 poll was red rupees.
Oh, wow, I totally missed that.
I never noticed the shortage of money. I guess I was fine practically the whole time. But at the beginning of the seed, I guess so. Yeah. Like when I was the only time that I was skeptical of money was when I went to route in pyramid, catfish, and all that stuff. I bought a potion and I was like, oh shoot, I have no money for Zora. And lo and behold, I think I pulled money out of the waterfall cave, and that gave me 300, just enough.
Yeah, that was funny. And then you gave it right back.
Yeah, for a big 20. Gotta love that.
Oh yeah, Calvin, I was curious about one thing. You didn't take the magic refill in the room before Moldorm.
I had 2 blue potions at the time, so I was just trying to get to the finish line.
Oh, okay, so what? I was thinking that might have been what it was because I knew you had potions.
I made sure I was well equipped before I went into Ice Palace, and then I didn't pop any potions in Ice Palace, so I knew I was good to go.
Oh man, there was a sword in the mire shed.
Yeah, I was just about to bring that up. We're being told by chat that the 4th sword was in Mire Shed, so everybody walked like right beside it. But
wow, yeah, I mean you're in go mode. You don't want to even stop to dip Mire Shed.
No, not really. Not once you have Tempered Sword, because almost everyone went down there with Tempered Swords. So,
though that could have helped Torin if he had dipped it when he was in there, since he was having those troubles with Trinex.
Yeah, if I would have only had Master Sword, I would have checked it. But with Tempered, I was just go.
yeah, Torin actually left Trinex after a few deaths and decided to clear all the other dungeons and come back. So he did the fight with 15 hearts, red mail, and 2 blue potions. So he was more than fine when he got back.
Though, given how you had to access Desert, he couldn't save a portal, so he had to go all the way back through TR.
Yeah.
Which is why he's only now on Aga 2. But that was a nice triple to finish the Aga 2 fight.
And we are seeing Torn off to the final Ganon fight. As to a question in chat as to whether someone found silvers, if someone can tell us, did any of the off-screen runners actually check Magic Bat?
Chat's saying that powder was also in GT, so the only way you would have done it is if you fake powdered before you got that.
Yeah, but I could see someone having done that, but no one checked tablets, I don't think.
Oh.
So yeah,
check
Bat was
50
cashed.
bucks. Okay,
So it was on a
a
tablet.
tablet.
Yeah, sorry. Trust you and I are saying the exact same sentence at the same time here. We're in sync today.
Yeah, I think Ganon said Light World, but
Yeah, and at that point, the only things we hadn't seen in the light world were Ped, Magic Bat, and the tablets.
And then,
Could Light World be considered, since we all probably skipped it, the checkerboard cave?
Oh yeah, that is light world.
Oh.
Good point.
Yeah.
Oh, so it could have been checkerboard.
Okay, now if we had runners who checked Meyer Shed, I assume someone checked.
I remember
as
seeing
well.
someone checking bumper ledge, so we.
Yeah. So checkerboard was also rupees. So yeah, we're back to tablets. But that was a very good point.
yeah. So if it was on a tablet, nobody was going to get that.
No, like the only one I could see somebody ever picking up is if on the way to like GT someone decided to check Ether because they really didn't want to do silverless. But
Well, the book was in GT.
oh right, it was in GT. Yeah, you're not leaving for that.
It was right next to the big key.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're not getting that. Nope.
Would have been funny if someone had gone outside and pulled ether before doing the climb. Would have been a heck of a play.
That's the I have no idea how to silverless option. I don't think if you know how to do it and you have tempered, you're never doing that.
And meanwhile, down goes Ganon for Torin the Dragon.
Oh,
And
yeah, sorry.
he will finish 4th on our restream, 10th overall, still quite respectable in a field of 19, 201.59.
We are getting confirmation from another off-screen runner that the Ether tablet was arrows.
So,
Bombo's tablet. This is the great thing about having 19 runners. We can really get information from everyone who took different routes, who did different things. And man, was there a lot of divergence today.
And we are joined here by Torin. GG, thanks for sticking it out.
Holy crap. I don't know what has happened, but oh man.
Hey, you know what you could have done when you went to Meyer area? You could have gotten Tempered Sword out of the shed there.
Oh man. Oh man.
You were our only restreamed runner who wasn't in go mode at that point, but we were told that, yeah, that's where the 4th sword was.
Wow.
But you really didn't have too much problems getting through everything at that point.
Says that, and then me struggling to do the hammer Trinex.
Don't feel so bad. You're not the only one to have trouble with Master Sword Hammer Trinex. I think I died to it like 5 times. I was very stubborn and didn't give up.
Oh man.
What I'm curious about was your decision to skip Waterfall Chest in Swamp.
Did I skip that?
It had Quake. You were lucky Quake wasn't needed.
Oh.
Yeah, you ran right past it. You dashed all the way through the room.
Oh. I have no idea.
No harm, no foul, right?
Right?
Quick
I
note,
guess I was just being a little bit bold.
I was going to say, as quick note, we can definitely continue this conversation, but Signums is checking out the tablets for us. There is a comment that dig spot was never checked because we never found shovel.
We never did.
Wait, is
So-
the shovel in GT too? I think.
But hold on, it's another. We're trying to find silvers, and that's another light world location that we hadn't checked. So we're gonna find out if it's on Bombos right now. But yeah, sorry. Continue, Warren.
Oh, there they are.
No, so they are there.
Wow.
Wow, that was a bad location for him.
So Calvin, one thing that worked out well for you was being able to go mode Ice Palace, which none of our other runners got to do.
Oh yeah, that's always nice to go mode Ice Palace.
I mean, I guess
Like
everyone
a
else went into
Capcom.
Ice before Swamp because you figured Crystal before Pendant.
I don't know. Yeah, probably. I mean, I don't know. I was just had a feeling about Swamp having like hookshot or something. Like, I don't know.
Not looking for anything else. I don't even remember why. Everything's just a blank because, like, holy man.
You know, it was quite a seed, but even with that was just over 2 hours on your time there, so it was still a well done seed overall. That's not a bad time at all.
Yeah.
And you just edged out 3 more people who finished within a couple minutes after you, I'm now seeing.
I see that.
Yep.
So yeah, as we wind down here, any final thoughts?
GG's to everybody. Thank you, commentators, for commentating, trackers for tracking, and yeah. No more Master Sword Hammer Trinex, please.
Yes, please.
So I think that'll wrap things for speed gaming tonight. The next race in our daily series is going to be 2 p.m. Eastern, so a little over 12 hours from now, right back here on Speed Gaming. It'll be hybrid major glitches, as we're also showcasing the qualifiers for that tournament. So if you want to see something totally different in terms of ALTTPR modes, tune back in for that race this coming afternoon. But once again, a huge thanks to our runners for being willing to be restreamed. Do give them all a follow.
This is definitely my first restream, to be quite honest with you all, too.
Well, considering I had to enter you into the system to get you onto the restream, I was quite aware it was your first restream.
Yeah, it happens.
Everyone has to have a first time sometime. Hopefully you'll do it again.
Hopefully.
And also, huge thanks to our trackers, Artarl and Mr. Scruff Ninja Tuna. Watching 4 screens is really tough. We are really glad you guys were there to keep track of everything.
Yeah, I definitely have to echo the thank you to our trackers, because without your work. Commentating would be extremely difficult. And thanks to Drossi for being here with me for this.
Yeah,
race.
thanks.
It was fun.
Thanks, Zethno, for being willing to do this with me. Always a fun time working with you, and I'm glad we got to do it since it had been quite a while. But we will let Torrin's credits finish here just so we can see his stats. I'm curious how they compared. I believe Signum's was 161 before he started going and full clearing the rest of the seed just to see what was where. I don't even know what he's looking for now.
Like, what else is left to do? You got silvers. You're like, what's going on?
I don't know. He's checking Pyramid Fairy. Maybe he really wants that powder or that shovel.
Oh, by the way, how did everyone think about the pad pool?
I was more surprised by your Hera play to begin with.
Yeah.
I was just honestly just wanted to do it just for the meme.
The ped pull or the Hera play?
Just the pad play, the pad pool.
So what led you into Hera then?
I don't know. It just I don't think it was in full go at that time. It was just an easy dungeon for me to do, especially with Parapod. And then of course there's like one last item in the basement. Of course it didn't have anything.
Yeah, that was the thing. I mean, of course you didn't know it wasn't the flute. It would have been a great Galaxy Brain play if it had been the flute.
Oh my gosh, if that was flute the whole time in the basement. Oh man, I would just imagine what that would have been. I think that's what honestly I was kind of looking for in a way too. But man, like nothing in like the right side or anything. Of course, I had been in Mimic Cave. Or was it Mimic Cave, right? I didn't say that right.
Yeah, it was Mimic Cave.
Okay. But yeah. Oh no, I should try to just make a show for everyone, just for me to pull pad. Because imagine the flute being in there too. Because that would have been.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, for by the time that you had pulled it, we had seen it on the credits, so we knew what it was going to be.
That's fair.
It was still great to see it drop, and chat was all very happy that somebody was pulling ped, even though we knew what it was.
Where was Book?
Next to the big key. Yeah, I guess you mirrored as soon as you got the big key. Everyone else kept checking the room just in case, like, silvers were there.
Mm-hmm. And where was the last? And where was Butter? You said in
Myers Shed.
Myers Shed. I should have honestly got it before that. Oh well. It happens.
Anyway, I think that will wrap it for us. For those of us on the East Coast, like your comms here, it's pretty good and late, so...
Yeah. 1 o'clock in the morning.
But yeah, thanks again for watching, everyone, and thanks one more time to our runners and to Speed Gaming for hosting these races, so make sure to give the Speed Gaming family of channels a follow too.
We hope you had a good time watching this tonight, and hope to see you next time.
Oh yeah.